everyone, my name is Abby with Hyde Park Presbyterian Church, and today we're going to be doing Morning Jam. This next song we haven't done in a few weeks, so I thought I'd bring it back around. It is Love the Lord. So we're going to sing this song, and the motions are very repetitive, so this will be a quick one to kind of brush up on if you don't remember the motions. So it goes like this. Love the Lord your God. You're going to point up 2 times. With all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and with all your strength. I'll do that one more time. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and with all your strength. Then the chorus will go with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, with all your strength. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and with all your strength. The next part of the song just changes the words just a little bit, and it goes, I will serve the Lord with all my heart, with all my soul, with all my mind, and with all my strength. And the chorus will go, with all my heart, with all my soul. So you'll get it. It's very repetitive, but you'll catch along very easily. All right, let's do it together. Today is Forever. Now, this song doesn't have motions for every single song or every single lyric or word, but as we're singing, there are a few times where certain lines come in that we have motions for that we're going to incorporate as we sing. So in the verses, the part, your love endures forever, okay? So we cross our arms like this, or you can make a heart with your hands like this. Your love endures forever. And remember, that sign reminds us of the rainbow and how God will always take care of us forever. So when at the end, so that will come in 2 times in the verse. At the end of the verse, we will also sing a part that says, sing praise, sing praise. And you're just taking your index fingers out like this, and you're going back and forth with your hands. And that's kind of like if you were directing a choir, sing praise, sing praise. The chorus is going to go like this. Forever, God is faithful. And you're going to make the sign of a cross because that's the signal of our faith. Forever, God is strong. Forever, God is with us. Forever and ever. All right, let's do this song together. Love endures forever. this week. Hello, friends, and welcome back to another Bible lesson. My name is Abby with Hyde Park Presbyterian Church, and today we are going to be talking about obeying. Now, there are a lot of people in our lives that we must obey, but what does it mean to obey? Well, when you look at the word obey, it actually means to follow the directions or the rules of another. Sometimes there are people in our lives who it's really important to obey them. Let's say, for example, we should obey the law, or we should obey our parents or our teachers. These are people that have our best interest at heart, and so they want us to be safe. And so when we obey them, it's really important and it's in our best interest. God is just like that too. And so when God has tasks for us to do or calls upon us for something in our lives, we should also turn and obey God as well. In our story today, we are going to be learning about just how important it is to obey for our character in this story. Let's take a listen. Our Bible story today comes from 2 Kings chapter 5, verse 1 through 15. It says this: A man named Naaman was a very important man. He was the commander of the army of the king of Aram. He was mighty and brave. He had won many battles, and the king of Aram really liked him. But Naaman had a skin disease called leprosy. It was a terrible disease that no doctor could cure. One little servant girl from the land of Israel lived and worked at Naaman's house. She told Naaman's wife about the prophet of God who could make Naaman well. When Naaman heard the news, he went to the king of Aram and asked if he could go and see this prophet. So the king gave him a letter to take to the king of Israel, where the prophet lived. Naaman gave the king of Israel the letter. The king of Israel became very upset. He couldn't make sick people better, but the prophet of God named Elisha heard about the problem and sent word to the king to send Naaman to Elisha. But before Naaman could even get to Elisha's home, Elisha's servant came out with a message. Elisha says, if you go and wash in the Jordan River 7 times, you will be healed. Naaman could not believe what he was hearing. He had come all this way, and Elisha had sent a servant to speak to him. The Jordan River was not a very good river anyway, and Naaman became very angry. He turned around to go back home. Naaman's servants wanted to get him well. If he had asked you to do something hard, you would have done it, they said. Why can't you obey what Elisha said to do? The very simple thing might heal your skin. Naaman realized his servants were right. Naaman went to the Jordan River and stepped into the water. He dipped himself into the water 1 time and came up. He still had leprosy. Elisha's servants had said 7 times, so Naaman went down and came up 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 times. Naaman obeyed and did exactly what Elisha had told him to do. The servants watched as Naaman went down the 7th time and came back up from the water. When Naaman looked at himself, he was clean and well. His skin no longer had the terrible sores of leprosy. Naaman went back to Elisha and said, Now I know that there is no God in all the world except in Israel. Now it's time to review our Bible lesson. So I want to start off by asking this. What was Naaman's problem in the beginning of the story? What was the issue that he was trying to deal with? In the story, we find out right at the beginning that Naaman, even though he was a very powerful and important man, had a skin disease, which back in the day was a really bad one. It was called leprosy. That was definitely his problem. So as the story goes along, he kind of finds a way that he wants to cure it. He wants to go to Elisha. But how does he show that he then obeys God? What is he asked to do? And does he do it? In order to solve Naaman's problem, Elisha told him to wash in the river 7 times. 7 times he had to go into a river that
wasn't even that clean or that great of a river. And so at first, Naaman didn't believe that this was what was gonna heal him. But he decided to listen to God anyway. He decided to obey what God had asked him to do through Elisha's instructions. So what was then the result of Naaman listening to God's instructions and obeying him? What was the result? We find out at the end of the story that even though he went down and dunked into the river 1 time, 2 times, even 6 times, nothing happened. But on the 7th time, when he was lifted back out of the water, he was healed. His skin was no longer had any sores on it. It was clear, and he no longer had leprosy, which was uncurable by the doctors at the time. Now this man was healed because he obeyed and listened to God. This brings us back to our Bible memory verse from Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 17, that says this: "The Lord your God is God of gods, Lord of lords. He is great, a great God, mighty and awesome." In this story, we really get to see the power that God has. God truly is awesome. He truly is so mighty and strong that his power can cure people, can totally change people's lives. And God's power can also change yours if you choose to let him in and obey him. I hope you have a great week, everyone. Talk to you later.